Hey, this is Jonas from ROOK. Today I'm going to show you how to connect Lovable and ROOK in order to build great products on top of wearable data. Um, as you might know, ROOK helps to connect with all the different wearables out there in the market, from Apple Watch to Garmin to Whoop, Oura, etc., through one single integration. And then Lovable is a vibe coding tool similar to Base 44 Cursor that you can use to build products on top of it. So we have prepared a little guide, and we will share this guide with you, which has some instructions that can you easily just copy and paste for you to build out your app on the basis of wearable data. So first of all, obviously, we need to define a bit the purpose of the application we're trying to build, define a bit the different front-end screens, and then we made it really easy for you. You can basically just copy all the back-end characteristics and information that we're going to make available for you to build out your application. So let's start. The instructions that I gave is I want to create a mobile app that connects wearables via ROOK. I want to create a baseline value over 14 days, especially for biomarkers such as resting heart rate, HRV, total time of sleep, and then active calorie burn. And I want a screen where I can get alerts whenever there is a decrease or an increase of more than 25% from baseline in any of those metrics. I define a bit the different interfaces. I want a login screen. I need this dashboard with the biomarkers and the baseline. I need a screen for the alerts, and then I need the profile and settings section, and a connection page where I can actually connect the wearables, which is promoted in parts by ROOK. And then for backend characteristics, as I said, you can literally just go in and copy all that information. It's a long document that gives instructions for any of the vibe coding tools of how to deal with the backend components. So it explains a bit of how the data is being structured, how the webhook needs to be created so that it's working, what is the document version, and how to deal with all the information and the JSONs that ROOK will be sending. But this is ready to go, so you can literally just copy paste this in. That's what I did here. So I'm going to do the scroll down here. That's all the information I added. And then I just hit literally enter. I had to accept the cloud enablement, which is obviously like the backend component where the data will be stored. This took some time to set up, and then ready to go. So we have the first interfaces ready. I'll walk you through this real quick. So first interface is obviously the login, where you first sign up when you're a new user, or if you already signed up, then you can just go ahead and log in here with your credentials. And then you will end up directly in the dashboard. What we see here is we have the resting heart rate tab, the HRV tab, sleep, and active calorie. We see actually already some data flowing in. I will get to this in just a second. And we see up here the baseline status. So right now we have 7 days synced from 14 days. We have down here the tab that gives you to alerts. There's no alerts yet because we haven't yet created the baseline information of 14 days. And then we have the profile section. What happens next is Lovable gave me then the webhook URL that needs to be configured, which is a simple copy paste. So you literally take this URL, and when you sign up with ROOK, you get access to our portal. Just takes a second to load here. So you get access to our developer portal. By default, you'll be sitting in a sandbox environment. And down here in the settings section is where you set up your credentials, connection page, and then the data webhook. The data webhook is what is important right now because that's what Lovable just gave us here. This URL, I just copy it and I put it in here. So you click edit, you put the URL in here, you hit save, and then once this is successfully saved, now ROOK knows that all information should be sent to this URL. And that's the same URL which is set up in Lovable to receive all the information. I confirm that this is done. And then basically the first information actually is ready to flow in. But I obviously need a connection page. So I need this interface where I can connect my device. So what Lovable then did is here in the profile settings section, it added this wearable connection component, Right now I have already one device connected, but I can connect another one. So it's literally like hitting this connection button, and then you hit open connections page, and it opens this view where I can connect the device. I've already WHOOP connected, and I can go now ahead and connect another device. So I will be hitting here Oura, and it takes me then through that native integration flow of Oura. So I'm logging in here with my credentials. This is sending me a code, and as soon as I receive the code here, I'll be adding this one in here. Submit code, and now ROOK sandbox. So we are in the sandbox test environment, obviously, but I accept that I want to share all of this information. And then we have a second device connected now. And with that, yeah, we have those devices connected in here, and data starts coming in. So now all information will be sent to that URL that we indicated, and with that, there's first information coming through. I gave a little bit of instruction on that connection page, so I literally just copied an example connection page, which is the one that is linked in the settings section. So if you create here your connection page, you can use that as a sample for Lovable, or you can simply provide access to this URL, which is explaining data authorization and the flow of connection page. That was enough so that Lovable could set up this workstream of connected device. It takes you to this extra tab. Obviously, in a second stage, what we could do is that this is embedded directly into the app experience and doesn't have to open this new screen. And then, yeah, I start seeing first data coming in. There's actually there's more data coming in right now. So sleep information for the first few days is coming in. We're seeing now HRV data coming in. So it's still syncing data. That is thanks to a feature that actually we have here at ROOK, which is, we call this feature pre-existing data. So if you go to customize ROOK and the data tab, we have a feature that allows you to pull historical data. So at the moment the user signs up, we go 7 days into the past and pull data from these days. So literally, I just built this application and I just connected my devices, and it starts now pulling in information from these last 7 days. That's why also the baseline up here, it says already there's 7 days being synced so far. And obviously I need to wait now another 7 days then to actually get to the 14 days of baseline information. And then these alerts would start to be working as well. That's kind of it. So you can easily set up this small integration with ROOK and start playing and building your own apps based on the ROOK data that we can provide with all the different integrations that ROOK has available. Thanks so much. This is a little update. I added a bit more information to this application. So I added even the ROOK score, which is this health score divided into physical, sleep, and body metrics. So now the user also has here the sleep score and information around physical and body information. And the baseline now is completed. We have information still here the same of HRV, resting heart rate, sleep, and active calorie burn. And then now the alerts are starting to trigger. So for example, today my HRV has been a lot lower than normal. So my baseline is 47 and I currently dropped to 20 today. So that is triggering then an alert. I also added the option to disconnect devices. So now you can also just go ahead here and say, for example, I want to disconnect my Oura, and that is then revoking the access. And now I have no data source anymore connected, so it stops collecting data. I would have to go again and just connect the device to have data flowing in again. Accept. And then once this is loading, we can see I have now a connected data source again. So if I go back in here, hit on the profile button, it now shows Oura as a connected data source again, and I can keep connecting more and more data sources. So it's pretty cool. super easy to set up with Lovable. Just follow the instructions and guide step by step, and you'll be good to go. And it really is like, for example, for adding this revoke endpoint, I literally um, just told Lovable, please add the option of revoking access, and I dropped a link. There we go. It doesn't seem that the rogue endpoint is working to disconnect data source. Find more information here. So I literally just made a reference to the API reference that we have in our website and tech documentation. And with that information alone, it was able to set this up correctly. So yeah, pretty cool.